I'm here, even if my audio is a bit shit or out of sync or whatever. You're here. Thank you for joining me. And I am going to play some game. I'm going to play some more art game. A game that's been recommended to me by a few people, and that just been sifting around. It's been in my collection in my library for a while now. Wait. Before we go any further, do our introduction. Hi, I'm James. I'm playing some games today. Thank you for joining me. Hey, it's BDC Tuesday. I'm back. Better than ever. I was just doing my intro. Where was I? Sovereignty was never ceded. Trans rights are human rights. And fuck the binary. So, otherwise, everyone is welcome. So please come in, enjoy, hang out, ask questions, and let's go see what this lighthouse thing up here is all about. Something going on here. Now, I probably don't need to check any of the options. We'll just kick in, right? The lighthouse. Oh, director's commentary. The boy, the caves, the beacon. Okay. Well, let's commit to at least playing through one of these this evening, and we'll see how we go. See how we go.
Dear Esther. The gulls do not land here anymore. I've noticed that this year they seem to shun the place. Maybe it's the depletion of the fishing stock driving them.
To see if they've got closed captions. They do, yeah. Right.
Away. Perhaps it's me.
Okay. Depletion of the fishing stock.
Here,
we just drown ourselves day one.
Sickly, and their shepherds the lowest of the miserable classes that populate these Hebridean islands. 300 years later, even they have departed.
Was that maybe not the right thing to do? Oh, oh, okay. Hey, we got an achievement. We got an achievement for suicide, I guess. Awkward. All right. First up, game's beautiful. I don't know what kind of game this is. Whether it's like a visual novel type game, or if some of this does ring a little bell though. We've got an auto torch. That's exciting. Paint. Okay. Do we need any extra paint? Lab rat, why are you doing that? You don't need to do that. Why did my bot just post something? I must have said something that sounded like the audio key for that particular command. All right, we follow the left wall. Oh, golly, gumdrops. Okay, maybe we shouldn't have followed the left wall. That was a very unpleasant discovery. Should not have had that vindaloo. Okay. Murky. Ooh. Okay, science. For any occasion. Hope that's not important. No way I'm remembering that. Stairway all the way up. Woken though. Okay, maybe we can find a ladder or something. What have I done to my mouse? It's all happening. Yeah, so lab rat, get back in your box, mate. No need to be pushing links on people. Otherwise. Oh, okay, we can zoom in on things. Okay, that's probably something we probably could have found out earlier. Hebridean history. What's the genre? I'm not sure. It definitely feels like a Silent Hill type of game, right? But it better not be. I believe it's like wistful storytelling. So hopefully it's not as creepy as it certainly looks like it. Left or right? I guess we're going to go beach path because we're a lefty. Can we run? We can't run. Okay, so that speaks volumes about the pace of the game. We kind of climb the side of here. Ooh, glistening rocks. YouTube served me up a video about the making of curling stones, which was very curious because I've never watched anything like that before. And it wasn't wrong. Like I watched the whole 10-minute video about how how curling stones are made, and you know how it's a dying art like pretty much everything else. Wow, someone really ought to clean up the beaches. Yeah, I'm hoping there's no jump scares though. I'm hoping it's simply a kind of exploration, internal, what have you. Some kind of. Right, looks like we can get back up.
There was
so
once talk of a wind farm out here, away from the rage and the intolerance of the masses. The sea, they said, is too rough for the turbines to stand. They clearly never came here to experience
that seems unlikely.
the calming for themselves. Personally, I would have supported it. Turbines would be a fitting contemporary refuge for a hermit. The revolution and the permanence.
That's deep, bro. Ooh. No, my father would be very happy with this. Bit of golden ratio action. Okay. Big clue, big clue. No, like if we zoom in on things, do we get any kind of... No, alright. Can't space bar. You're already preparing yourself for a jump scare. Given that we got a jump scare in the puzzle platformer the other night. Yeah, the slow violins.
Dear Esther,
it all does feel like
I found myself to be as featureless as this ocean, as shallow and unoccupied as this bay, a listless wreck without identification. My rocks are these bones, and a careful fence to keep the precipice at bay. Shot through me caves, my forehead a mount. This aerial will transmit into me so. All overexposed, the nervous system, where Donnelly's boots and yours and mine still trample. I will carry a torch for you. I will leave it at the foot of my headstone. You will need it for the tunnels that carry me under.
Yikes. Who brought Mr. Doom along? Is there something up on that? Maybe just rocks. Okay. So we found an old discarded tire and some sand art of the golden ratio, it appears. We saw some chemistry stuff on the wall. These rocks are definitely glistening of their own accord. Right, okay, so stairs back up. That should link us back up with the pathway we didn't take earlier. And hopefully we haven't missed too much. Oh, and exciting other news. You might remember the survival game I used to play. The kids called it Snow Game. And it was set in kind of a faux Canadian snowy outback. Lots of freezing to death and fighting bears. They're releasing a whole bunch of new content. Wait, so we were at the lighthouse. I thought we were going to the lighthouse. Oh, maybe that's the old broken lighthouse? Okay, rocks. So if we'd taken the pathway up, we would have ended up not being able to make it through anyway. So that was a bit lucky. Bit lucky for some. Saw that barbed wire back there.
Sight.
Oh,
The moon cresting the junction between the cliff path and the stone circle. It cast a shadow of the ridge across the beach. All the world as if you had signed your name in untidy handwriting.
cute. They're different voices, right? So It's different people, different snippets of memory, perhaps? Maybe we can see that drawing a little bit better from up here. Return to Zork or Riot? Return to Zork, wow. A little bit of text adventure. Yeah, we will be able to see it a little bit better from up here. I don't know whether this game will allow me to fall off a cliff, given that it let me drown myself in the first 10 seconds.
Or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice. They cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff path died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this.
Yikes.
To keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Ooh. Flesh infection. That does give the Silent Hill kind of Resident Evil suggestion from earlier some merit. Merit, yes, merit. Pretty flowers. Why not just take the pathway, James? Jesus fucking Christ, what is this? This is called Dear Esther.
We
and
are not like
it's...
Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular
We're not looking
need
back
to
and
turn
turning into
back.
pillars of sand? Salt?
There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking. No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead. The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
Yeah, wow, okay. Bleak, dark. So yeah, it's called Dear Esther. It's won a whole bunch of awards. I was saying a moment ago that I'm not quite sure what type of game it is, whether it's simply a visual novel or whether it's gonna have puzzles in it. We'll give it a little bit, and if it's... Oh, all right, there you go. That might answer that. We might...
Dear Esther,
Looks like we can simply...
I
Ooh,
met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage. My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another. Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
what?
I find myself
Thrown
increasingly
high and
unable
lucid.
to find that point where the hermit ends and Paul and I begin. We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean. My neck aches from staring up at the aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
Wow. There's a lot of driving metaphors in this. And apparently, like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Wish I had a dented bonnet. My kingdom, my kingdom, my kingdom for a dented bonnet. Right, that's the same science thing we saw painted at the lighthouse previously. This, I don't know. A meth equation? Yeah. Mathematics. Now this is going to lead round to that sunken ship, right? Oh no, that was just we just did a blocky. Well, we might be able to get over to that ship. Hmm? If we stay close to the edge. Game seems to let us... No, maybe not. Okay. Too deep. Okay, so then that's where we started, at the broken lighthouse. There's some kind of shipwreck over there, but it doesn't look like we can get there. Cave full of creepy meth equations. Sink or sink, yes, no? A cook tunnel. I don't know what a cook tunnel is. Unless you're talking about cooking meth. Then I still don't know what you're talking about, but at least I have some context clues. Hello, fellow human. Another human being with a rich internal world. Here to share a few steps along the journey that is life. Journey before destination.
The vegetation here has fossilized from the roots up. To think they once grazed animals here, the remnants of occupation being evidence to that. It is all sick to death. The water is too polluted for the fish. The sky is too thin for the birds.
Place looks fine.
The soil is cut with the bones of hermits and shepherds. I've heard
Mate,
it
you
said
and your
that
hermit
human
bones.
ashes make great fertilizer. That we could sow a forest from all that is left of your hips and rib cage, with enough left over to thicken the air. And
What are you saying, mate? That I'm fat? Rude. 2 rocky to graze animals. Game is unrealistic. 5 out of 7. Ooh. Well done, Null. Man, quitting's the best. I love quitting. I've quit more jobs than I've had. Fantastic. Congratulations. Quite the power. We don't need other people to choose us. We don't need to be chosen. We can choose ourselves. I don't know you, but that sounds gutsy. Agreed. Yep. Null's super gutsy. That feels really one way. Feels really one way. All right, let's not commit to ankle breaking decisions just yet. Imagine walking all the way back around this isthmus. There's a word that's pretty rude to make a person with a lisp say. So I have this theory about, I call them nexus points, but I have this theory about, it's probably like easily explained away with like a Poisson distribution or something, but I have this idea that events gather around certain dates, like that line about how there are years in which decades happen, or weeks in which decades happen, and decades in which nothing happens. Ah. Little pot. Oh, rude. That's someone's ashes just get blown away. That was cool. That was cool. Okay. Alright, I guess there's a pathway. We walk up. Yeah. Sort of. I don't really want us to. We can go this way. There you go. See, the more we quit, the better we get at it. There's a chain link fence there. We should be able to get on the other side of that somehow. I'm sure I've just missed the pathway. There'll be like a nice, easy pathway just along here somewhere that I've just completely missed. It does get really tall really quickly though. we saw the ashes. We heard Buggerlugs talking about Hermit Bones. We walked through these standing rocks. It really does just look like we ought to be able to get up here. Alright, I must be being dumb. I must be being dumb then. Alright, if we can't get up to there, then I guess we do... Oh man, there's creepy ashes. I guess we do walk this way. Like we came from up there. I guess... Oh, you know what? We haven't walked down this way yet. Because we came from up on there, circling around the other side of the cliff top. Why am I always on a dirt farm? I think... Whoa. Okay, that's a tire. Okay, that's where we saw the tire. Oh, so that means if we do fall down that section, we're further along because we couldn't cross that crevice earlier. So... I was going to say, you know how people... I'm like, you know what? I don't know if we know these kinds of people. You know how some people look back at all the people they've dated and go, huh, I have a type. Well, maybe I'm the same with video games. It does seem like I, perhaps masochistically, I don't know. Perhaps I'm channeling some kind of, I don't know, dead hermit. But it does seem that I do spend an inordinate amount of time in games wandering through endless chasms of saltbush and lichen-encrusted boulders. Old dirt farm, James. All right, we're going to make the leap. It doesn't look like we can go anywhere else, so we're going to leap off this cliff. There we go. Loading.
Dear Esther,
We had unlocked an
I've now
achievement.
driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome break services. But although I can always see it in my rearview mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Go faster. I also can't pull ashore. Did go to a seafood disco once. Pulled a muscle. I think we're heading towards old Blinky over there. And I'm not sure, left or right. We're a lefty. Ordnance maps. Yeah, are we searching for old weaponry? Sunken boats. Alright. When given the choice between left and right, we go left. Especially if it looks like that heads us towards Blinky over there. Right. Bit of salvage. Not shipbreaking. Alright, so that's a different Blinky. Multi-blinks. Multi-pass. Alright, we've yet to come across anything we can pick up or interact with. So I'm starting to lean on the visual novel style of quote-unquote game. Switch to Breath of the Wild. So there is a subscription, there is a Nintendo subscription on Switch, but you don't have to get it.
His voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented. How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he
This
hated
guy and his
the inhabitants
bones.
so. To him, they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat. Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean. Into oblivion.
And neither did he eat nor drink. You like that seafood joke? Pretty bad dad joke, but there you go. You're welcome. You can have that one. So, yeah, we have a Switch and we don't pay for the subscription, and we have had many, many hours sunk into Breath of the Wild. I believe if you do have the subscription, you can get some cosmetic items, but they're cosmetic, so boo. Or as the Americans would say, booey. Why can they not just call it a boy? I mean, it does have a whole extra letter in it, so I guess that's pretty reasonable. Great. Crates aplenty. Ooh. Secret tunnel. Delirious with sleep deprivation. Oh my god, I can get some cheap laughs. Use all my good stuff. I don't have any good stuff. Bring out the top shelf. Humor. It's where the humor is, right? Secret tunnel. Ooh.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
What? It's like a hermit factory. I've always thought the idea of a hermitage was a bit silly. Like an organized place for people to go and hang out by themselves. It's like that old line about the masochist says, hit me. And the sadist says, no. Okay. So apart from anywhere, every time I want to say kidney stones, this game's really picking up.
Submerged in anesthetic. Your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Okay. So that's why there's so many driving metaphors. Because old mate Stones McGee is sad about Esther heading off the bonnet of a car. And so has come to the island to be alone and write letters to his lost love. So yeah, dirt farms and dreariness seem to be my MO.
I've begun to climb, away from the sea and towards the center. It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence. The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore.
Cheery as hell, yo. Breath of the Wild, yeah, it's super great. It's rolling to go faster. Oh my god, if there was a left shift to run in this game, I'd be all over that shit. Like a rash. Yeah, don't worry about the main dungeons in Breath of the Wild. Just adventure around. Find Kuroks. Oh, Brewers. Now,
the bothy was constructed originally.
The others were already giving me shit about my dirt farm games, okay?
Shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property
is a
would secure
bothy?
him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it.
Well, maybe he should have not caused his goats to become malcontented. We found a hut. with an extant chair. Ooh,
When the oil lamps
some
ran out,
mouldy
I
ass
picked up a
books.
torch, but used the moonlight to read by. When I've pulled the last shreds of sense from it, I will throw Donnelly's book from the cliffs and perhaps myself with it. Maybe it will wash back up through the caves and erupt from the spring when the rain comes, making its return to the hermit's cave. Perhaps it will be back on the table when I wake. I think I may have thrown it into the sea several times before.
Don't be dead babies. I don't want to have anything to do with dead babies. Please, Kay. Thank you. Okay. Seems more signs of lifey than we've seen so far. Can't interact. I'm not even going to try and change your mind, Brewer. You are correct. Yeah, dirt farming. Dirt farming miles ahead of walking simulator. And as pretty as this game is, hashtag quote unquote game, we don't have a lot of agency at all in this. We haven't made, apart from which direction to go, there has not been a lot of buttons to push. Gonna keep heading off towards old Blinky, I think. Circumnavigating this entire shit rock mess of a island. I'm glad you pointed out a trend. Yeah, granted, you weren't giving me shit. That's true. Pointing out a trend for sure. A trend worth. Man, tell ya, I read Donnelly's book. Oh god, okay, got too close to the edge.
Come back.
Oh, it just lets you come back. There we go. I unlocked an achievement for committing suicide in a different way. Oh dear, this game. I don't know if this game's got it. I don't know if this game's got what it needs to have. Yeah, not permanently. Can't kill myself permanently. I'm farming naps.
What to make of Donnelly?
Okay, so that's...
The laudanum and the syphilis. It is clearly not how he began. I've been unable to discover if the former was a result of his visit
Opium and
or
STDs.
the force that drove him here. For the syphilis, a drunk driver smashing his insides into a pulp as he stumbled these paths, I can only offer my empathy. We're all victims of our age. My disease is the internal combustion engine and the cheap fermentation of yeast.
Ooh, okay, so you killed her. You were the drunk driver. Oh, bad news bears. Shortcut. Speedrun this game. Yeah, I don't know. I'm It's pretty, but I'd like there to be something to do. Feels like a lot of effort has gone into making somewhere for us to explore. This won a lot of awards. Is it one of those ones where people gave it awards because they didn't understand it?
My leg. I think the femur is broken. It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is
The
only
fuck is a
one way
bothy?
this is likely to end.
Is it just a hut?
The
Is that what we're telling
medical
us?
supplies I looted
A
from the
hut,
trawler
okay,
have suddenly
alright.
found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for
Simon's
my
already
final
told me that.
ascent.
A hut, yeah, thank you. Alright. I thought, when you said it the first time, I thought it was a comment on what we'd found at the top of the hill, as opposed to an answer to my question. Alright. So, this is like Lara Croft finding machine gun ammo inside an ancient cathedral, right? Like a long, locked tomb. How is there a lit candle here? Oh no, Null, you got one of those ones? Ah! like those, what are they called? Like the antidepressants that are like side effect, may cause depression.
Did Jakobsen crawl this far? Can I
You didn't crawl, mate. You
identify the
slid.
scratches his nails ruined into the rocks? Am I following him cell for cell?
They wanted
inch
you better
for
see in the
inch?
darkened cave. Then
Why did he turn back on himself and not carry through to the ascent?
I have a torch. I've used a torch several times in this game already. Oh, that was very, very disorienting. Dude, this game is stalactite. More candles. More mysterious candles. Alright. Dynamic lighting. Falling photographs. This one can both treat and cause cancer. Wow. Like, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. That takes us back to where we were. That joke, Stalag, might have been awful. It might have been, but you don't have cancer. So that means, like, you're rolling the dice there, right? Where that's a negative free roll is what you call that. Like, you either don't have your non-existent cancer cured and end up exactly where you are, or you get cancer. Or can we go up here? Oh, I could feel us hunkering down there. That was really awkward. The audio's lagging the fuck, right? It's lagging for everyone. I don't know what it is. But it's really annoying. It's annoying me. And like when I put the last Wednesday's video up on last Thursday, whatever. I put the last stream up on. Do we fall down here as well? I guess we do. I put the last stream up on YouTube, and I had to get into the video editor and like slide the audio along like 6 frames. Stalag shite. Get out of here. All right, we've taken a shower now. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the audio. My apologies. I can hide my mouth if that helps at all. Rolled a good game choice. Yeah. Did I though? We just fell down a hole and now have to like climb all the way back up again. We didn't even activate another creepy bit of maudlin machinery based prose. Well, it's lucky it's pretty. So, guess we don't fall in. Let's try and climb around. Imagine the tilt as a watcher if you're playing a rhythm game. There you go, you're welcome. Still, noise cancelling mouth. God, if only. Yeah, I think that's the only time I'd have a successful Kickstarter. This treats the following illnesses: syphilis, baldness, premature. 3 kinds of influenza. You have Three Stooges syndrome. No, we don't know what. Oh, I'm not a doctor. Thank you, doctor. That's how most mental health medicine started, as a glowing mushroom. Or as a we don't know why. Have we figured out how anesthetic works yet? Or just that it does? You think I passed an egg? Oh, like that thing? And we don't know how Panadol works. Great. I'll never get tired of the story about when Kato was giving birth, and they're like, "We're gonna give you magnesium sulfide."
Infection from the shattered femur towards the heart. I
Ooh.
swallow fistfuls of painkillers to stay lucid.
Speaking of painkillers.
In my delirium, I see the twin lights of the moon and the Ariel shining to me through the rocks.
Yikes. Yeah, so Kato's on, like, I think it's magnesium sulfate. Can't remember. Anyway, something heinous. And, like, based on her weight, she was being assigned, like, let's go up. I want to get out of this cave. Oh, more meth. There was, like, a machine with a big syringe that was slowly pumping, like, exactly, you know, a certain number of milligrams per minute into her. Very scientific, really high tech. And at the same time, the obstetrician would come round and whack her knee with a mallet. Just the disparity between the more paintings. Bloody the youth of today and their art. Ridiculous. So tell me if this is a really shit idea or whether I should try and do it. So taking one of Banksy's art pieces, either the guy throwing the flowers or the little girl with the balloon, and changing the flowers from like a posy of little, like whatever they are, like nondescript roses, or the balloon itself into Australian native bottle brush flowers and calling it a Banksy art. I did X to stay lucid, but I also became delirious. Ah, I think we're out of here. Oh man, it's the pits of Hathsin. Why can't I get up? Gross. Okay, bad. The guy who invented the first antipsychotic was trying to turn an antihistamine into an anesthetic for surgery. I want a refund at this point.
The hand you offered to me, from the summit down to this well, into the dark waters where the small flowers creep for the sun. Headlights are reflected in your retinas, moonlit in the shadow of the crematorium chimney.
Oh, dude. Oh, I missed that one. We're just going to drown again? I don't know if I can get out of here. Surely I can. Just grind up the wall. Ugh. How do I... I've either got to get out or die. This looks like the death scene. I wonder how long I stay down here. Sold. I feel like it would be a better experience without us assholes. I don't at all think that. Like the story's fine. It's, you know, it's got its moments, but it doesn't, it's a little belabored by the fact that we have to go find each paragraph. Null, for a second there I thought you meant they gave this game to psych patients, and I'm like, ain't no way this game improved psych patients. Behold, Damascus is taken. Okay. Whoa, holy moly. It's like a cross between that scene from South Park and some kind of Einstein thing. Thorazine. Speaking of not Thorazine, I saw a thalidomide down the street the other day. And I haven't seen one of those for decades. Away from being a city. Is that a continuation of the previous sentence? Taken away from being a city? Oh, and well, we missed the other half of that. And it shall be a ruinous heap. A ruinous heap. What I call my mother-in-law. Hey. Ruinous heap. These look like the dangly things out of Subnautica that zap you if you're not careful. So I was instinctively dodging them. Thorazine for too much acid. Now, I read that it's not possible to take too much acid. That your body will only ever process it at a certain rate. And that any excess beyond that rate is simply, like, ejected. Like when you take too much vitamin B and you just turn your pee yellow. You know what I'm saying? The cure for too much acid was diagnosed schizophrenia. You guys are great. Anyone who says that you guys don't improve any story is a liar. Information source, a guy on acid. That's psilocybin. Okay. Huh. I thought it was... Oh, look, flashbacks. Vancicles cares not for beans. A minute before they play White Rabbit. Vance will tell us the answer. Is it possible to OD on acid, Vancicles? Or does your body only ever process it at a certain rate, regardless of... Oh, I'm active here. This is an active flashback. All right, we're going to have to go look at the wreck. I was waiting for the flashback to keep... 99% sure? There's only one way to be 100% sure. Okay. That's... A car that's been there for a long time for its lights to still be working. Want to check the bonnet. Check the boot. Is that to sink a blotter of acid? Take the whole much. Yeah, I guess. All right, so... What am I trying to process here? I guess my understanding is, yeah, you absolutely can burn out on acid and end up, you know, a shell of a human. And I guess for what... Oh, that one kind of looks like a skull. I guess for whatever reason that didn't kind of register to me as like ODing per se. But you're absolutely right. It kills you in a different kind of way. We just slowed right down. We've gone from being able to walk slowly to being able to walk, oh, so slowly. You can die. Oomph. Head into the light. Achievement unlocked, Esther. Plus these effective at such tiny doses, you need a hell of a lot to OD and there's no record of it ever happening. There. Yep. At least it doesn't trigger off every single one now. I put a timer on it, so it only triggers every couple of minutes. This is giving me pirates. Now, there is a candle on the right-hand side. Am I going to break my go left? I am going to break my go left rule. The tent. That is intense. Game just needs a crafting system. Oh, if we'd gone left, we could have got to that little bridge.
Parallel white lines into the sky. They charted their course, and I followed them for 21 minutes until they turned off near Sanford and were lost. If I were a gull, I would abandon my nest and join them. I would starve my brain of oxygen and suffer delusions of transcendence. I would tear the bottom from my boat and sail across the motorways until I reached this island once again.
Right, so white lines, 2 white lines of the jet, 2 white lines carved into the cliffs, the white lines of the road. All right. I've never met a metaphor I didn't like. Terry's bottom. Can I just get this as a book? Yeah, if this was just a graphic novel, then I'd be down. The dude, yeah, the dude who invented LSD, didn't he ride home on a bicycle after taking it and then...
Version of the North Shore. We will scrawl in dead languages and electrical diagrams and hide them away for future theologians to muse and mumble over. We will send a letter to Esther Donnelly and demand her answer. We will mix the paint with ashes and tarmac and the glow from our infections. We will paint a moon over the Sanford Junction and blue lights falling like stars along the hard shoulder.
Wow. Shrine to failed medicine? Look, and I think that the LSD question is like one of the reasons why it's a question is because it's been forbidden for so long that we haven't been able to properly study it in any type of scientific way. So we do have all this hearsay and, you know, apocryphal tales of, you know, old mate, the dude from Frankston, you know, or I knew a guy who told me that he knew a guy that... All right. This cave looks like a one and done, so we can do that and then continue heading around. So what you end up with is anyone who's taking a heroic dose of LSD is almost certainly going to have comorbidities. And one would assume that it's rare to take fistfuls of anything without having some sort of imbalance or issue that one is trying to rectify. Oh, thank you for spelling this out for me. I appreciate it. Yes, car crash. I get it. Thank you. The one wheel right at the beginning of the game was subtle. That would just... That's like a meta 5, mate.
There were chemical diagrams on the posters on the walls on the waiting room. It seemed
There were.
appropriate at the time. Still life abstractions of the processes which had already begun to break down your nerves and your muscles in the next room. I crammed diazepam as I once crammed for chemistry examinations. I am revising my options for a long and happy life.
Benzos. A light from heaven shone. Might just be real hard. It might be like water, right? You can OD on water. I'm not talking about drowning either. Like, you know, one of my old science teachers said, you know, you can take too much of anything. What's his name?
From here, I can see my armada.
My name's
all the
Amanda.
letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my
You shouldn't have
rucksack,
knocked the bottom out of
and I
your
spread
boat,
them out
mate.
along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Eggs. That's kind of lovely, actually. All right. Screenshot. Screenshot the egg shrine. That was worth finding. Oh, and these are the boats. This is the Armada. Lovely. Just being that thing and not you. What's that story about, like, If I weigh 99 pounds and I eat 1 pound of tacos, I'm 1% tacos. Wow, that's a big piece of graffiti on the wall over there. BRB, got to get quiche from the oven. God, could really go a quickie right now. It's pronounced quiche. So my brother-in-law's partner, her name is Quiche. Not Q-I-C-H. Q-U-I-C-H-E. But like K-E-E-S-H. And his parents insist on mispronouncing her name.
I will drag my leg behind me. I will
It's
drag
just-
it like a crumpled hatchback.
it's a fucking
tires
hate crime.
blown and sparking across the dimming lights of my vision. I'm running out of painkillers and am following the flicker of the moon home. When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they restarted his heart with the jump leads from a crumpled hatchback. It took 21 attempts to convince it to wake up.
The hatchback or the heart? There's another person here. I've got actual chills. Goosebumps. What is this walking simulator? Yeah, you guys. You were supposed to go eat. Go work. Yeah, go eat. Eating's far more important than watching this nonsense. Golly gumdrops.
I've begun
It's a
my
modern day
voyage in a
Theseus,
paper
yeah.
boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it.
Paper boat, no
I've
bottom.
been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Now you're mixing your metaphors, mate. What is this walking simulator? This is Dear Esther. Whatever shadow we saw up on the hillside has gone. Escapoed. Ooh. And as he was proceeding on his journey. Did we miss another line? Little wonder they went through so much paint. They did take most of the paint tins back to the lighthouse. But not all of them. Vandals. Underline Yahoo. Point some fingers at it. Yeah, might need to be up on the hill to read that one. Alright. Creepy choral voices. And he was 3
If
sheets to the
only
wind.
Donnelly had experienced
3
this,
days.
he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this
Neither
island,
did he eat nor
so
drink. We
he
saw that one
became
already.
his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Okay, so kidney stones, syphilis, laudanum. Diazepam. Right. A lot of self-medication going on. I hate becoming syphilis. Ruins my day. I'm going to the wiki. I can't stand this pace. Yeah, the pacing is something else. For sure. I mean, on one hand, it's sort of neat that you can
Bent back like a nail, like a hangnail.
progress at
like
your
a
own rate.
drowning man clung onto the wheel, drunk and spiraled, washed onto the lost shore under a moon as fractured as a shattered wing. We cleave, we are flight and suspended, These wretched painkillers, this form inconstant. I will take flight. I will take flight.
That's another jumping off the cliff metaphor, is it? Alright, what's this shrine to? Oh, shrine to garbage. Okay, more drugs? Drugs? This is embarrassing. Drugs? Okay. This game's getting a solid sort of 3 out of 10 from me at the moment. It's still better than It Takes Two. Like an order of magnitude better. That game was the nut low. Oh god, it was bad. This is getting kind of thin and scary up here. But we know we can't die now. So, I wonder if we get another achievement for like a high dive. That's right, yeah, there are better explorers now. And like, I mean, Brewer was saying before that because it was first. Where the fuck you at? It's like, dear Esther, you up?
With panic, deaf with the roar of the caged traffic, heart stopped on the road to Damascus. Paul sat at the roadside, hunched up like a gull, like a bloody gull. As useless and as doomed as a syphilitic cartographer, a dying goat herd, an infected leg, a kidney stone, blocking the traffic down for Sanford and Exeter. He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. All his roads and his tunnels and his paths led inevitably to this moment of impact. This is not a recorded natural condition. He should not be sat there with his chemicals and his circuit diagrams. He should not be sat there at all.
Whoa, salty. Hi caramba, it's me, Racism Exposito. Yeah, the book. Holy moly. Bomb Tracks. Is Bomb Tracks on Twitch? I'm down for some Bomb Tracks. My musical tastes run deep and wide. And I'm always keen to find some new artists. If you do like chill, kind of progressive, not trance, a little bit harder than trance, but
Leave twin vapor trails in the air. White lines.
yeah, see?
etched into these
White lines. We've had all the other like drug references. When do we get the coke references?
Dear Esther, I have burnt
All
my
right.
belongings.
No control.
books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon.
Taking all the
but they
bottoms
will
away.
not forget you. We've
That
always
top
been
life.
drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Do a backflip. I didn't mean it. Oh. Come on, pull up, pull up. Yes! Get some. Spread your something wings? What's the line? Spread your broken wings and learn to fly. Blackbird fly. There's more walking to be done. No more walking. We can fly now. I wonder if it's Alec Guinness. Was it, maybe it was another one of those jobs he did that he just didn't want to do. He hated Star Wars as well, right? Harrison Ford hated Star Wars. Brew Earns, what did you miss? I think we missed the ending. We basically climbed to the top of the radio tower and then we jumped off. Hated all that money. It's like, oh, this money. Oh. All right. Well.
Come back.
Dear Esther. Probably need some Dear Ether to get through that, really. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. It was fine. Okay. The game that started the genre. I have now experienced it. And I feel like I am more complete for having experienced that. Like it's one of those seminal experiences that feels really stereotypical now, but that's because of it being copied so much. I don't know how old this is. Yeah, Godfather would be an example. My example is Citizen Kane was the one where I twigged that was a thing. Watching Citizen Kane, just going, oh my god, this is so cliched. And then you have to remind yourself, like actively remind yourself that yeah, it's cliched now because everybody and their dog copied it. Imagine a dog making Citizen K9. Got him. Originally 2008 as a mod. They took all of the farming out. They took all the crafting out of the game. Took all the just all I want is walking. I just want walking and maudlin poetry. 2007 mod by the Chinese Room, funded by Arts and Humanities. Mod of Half-Life 2? Clockwork Orange would be another example. Yeah. Resume. Would you like to play again? You have selected no. Ah, shit, son. We only got 6 out of 10 achievements. We probably could have died more. Only 27.2% of people jumped off a cliff. So the lighthouse is the first chapter, and only 50% of people have the achievement of finishing the first chapter. That's kind of telling. Didn't contract enough syphilis. We got some, but not enough. The Stanley Parable is also a walking sim. True. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely true. The beginner's guide. No. How? It's very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, beginner's guide. No, I haven't. Let me search the store. So Disco Elysium was on massive discount, so I picked that up. Beginner's guide. Quiche time for real. Go quiche. Narrative video game from lasts about an hour and a half, has no traditional mechanics, no goals or objectives. Instead, it tells the story of a person struggling to deal with something they do not understand. Aha. So again, it's another one of those. It's another like Dear Esther, right? It's like you don't really play it. You get more Subnautica whenever they make the third one, whenever they release the third one into early access. We can. Oh, you guys can't see my screen. I beg your pardon. Can I do that? I do window capture. I don't know if this works. I don't know if capturing. Yeah, capturing Steam doesn't work for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, weird. Weird. So my brain just went boonk. I think I am done. I'm full. I am full. I have no more. I've given all I can give today. Thanks guys for hanging out. I really appreciate the chats. Do check out Bomb Tracks. I'm gonna go check them out now. Put my headphones on. Listen to some. If your name's Bomb Tracks with 2 X's, surely your stuff has got to be kind of hard. A YouTube walkthrough of what? Of which one? Of Subnautica? Subnautica is amazing. It's a beautiful game. More grounded when is what I want to know. More grounded when. More quiche when. Bomb Tracks is just the weather rapping, yeah? Yeah, you get them on SoundCloud. But you need to use a lightning cable. At least they make it rain. Anyway, lovely weather. No pun intended. Bomb. I'm going to get out of here before I keep dribbling too much more garbage. I'm going to go eat some food myself. You've been lovely. I've been James. Thank you so much. I will fix the audio for the YouTube version of this and catch you all later. Stay hydrated. I love you. Mwah.